I'm going to bite your face if you touch my rock, not as a warning, as a promise. These are the residents of the most overcrowded, highest-stress apartment complex in Africa, and they are not accepting new tenants peacefully. Today, we're meeting some of these beautiful lunatics. Some will make you laugh, some will make you want to sell your tank on Craigslist, and at least one of them is probably staring at you right now, plotting your downfall. Let's start with the one that turned relaxing hobby into a combat sport. Demasoni, the short king, with a Napoleon complex so concentrated it could be registered as a controlled substance. This fish is approximately 5 centimeters long and consists of 1% scales, 1% fins, and 98% undiluted audacity. Beautiful electric blue and black vertical stripes. Nature's way of labeling a creature. Warning, high voltage. We tried to tell you. The problem with Demasoni, and there is very much a problem, is that they are specifically, almost artistically designed to fight each other. Two males in the same tank is not a cohabitation situation. It is a high-stakes elimination tournament. The stripes are identical, the aggression is identical, and neither fish is capable of backing down. Because peace was never coded into the firmware. The solution sounds completely insane, until it works. You put 15 of them in the same tank. Not 2, not 5, 15. The theory is that, with enough fish, the aggression spreads across so many targets that no single individual receives a fatal concentration. The dominant male can't focus on one victim because there are 14 other potential rivals requiring his immediate violent attention. It's chaos management through chaos amplification. It shouldn't work. It does. What you get is a tank that looks like a living screensaver. Constant motion, constant color, electric blue everywhere. A scene of low-grade, perpetual warfare that miraculously never quite escalates to catastrophic. You will sit in front of that tank for 45 minutes without realizing it. Time works differently around Demasoni. You don't just watch them, you get lost in the beautiful, frantic blur of their ambition. Mbuna is local dialect for, I'm going to bite your face if you touch my rock, not as a warning, as a promise. These are the residents of the most overcrowded, highest-stress apartment complex in Africa, and they are not accepting new tenants peacefully. In the wild, they live exclusively in the rocky shoreline of Lake Malawi, a narrow strip of real estate so contested that even the concept of personal space doesn't exist. Every inch of rock is owned, defended, and redefended approximately 40 times per day. In a tank, they take this energy and compress it into whatever space you've given them, which is never enough. It will never be enough. Stop asking. If your aquarium doesn't have enough caves and rockwork, these guys won't just argue over territory. On Monday, they'll take the kitchen. On Tuesday, they'll liquidate your retirement fund. By Wednesday, they've rewritten the HOA rules, and you're no longer allowed to vote. They are fast, relentless. And they have the social etiquette of a hungry wolf locked inside a meat locker with a personal grudge. Here's what nobody tells beginners. In Mbuna, aggression isn't random, it's organized. There is a hierarchy, there are alliances, and there are long-standing feuds that predate your involvement by several weeks. You are not the owner of this tank. You are the landlord nobody likes, and they've already stopped paying rent. The classic beginner mistake is understocking. People buy 2 Mbuna, thinking fewer fish means less fighting. Wrong. Catastrophically wrong. With 2 fish, one becomes the tyrant, and the other becomes a punching bag. You need enough fish that the aggression gets spread around like a terrible buffet. Everyone gets a little. Nobody gets destroyed. People love Mbuna because they're colorful, active, and endlessly entertaining. They're also the reason most hobbyists develop a drinking habit within the first 6 months. This is not a coincidence. Haplochromines. While Mbuna are crammed into the rocky shallows, bickering over a pebble like it's the last resource on Earth, Haplochromines are cruising the open water, unhurried, unbothered, moving with the specific confidence of a predator who hasn't decided yet if you're a threat or a snack. Usually the answer is snack. The Hap category is enormous and genuinely diverse. Some species sift methodically through the sand, hunting for invertebrates, working the substrate with the focused patience of someone completing a 5,000-piece jigsaw puzzle. Others are straight-up ambush predators, and a few species specialize in eating the scales off other fish. Just the scales, not the fish, the scales. Evolution gave them a very specific skill set, and they committed to the bit completely. It's the aquatic equivalent of someone saying, I'm not going to kill you, but I am going to eat your jacket. If a Mbuna is a street brawler, a Hap is a professional boxer. Calculated, patient. They've been visualizing the hit longer than you've even known they were there. They need space, serious space. Not, I have a 200-liter tank and that seems fine space. We're talking a properly massive aquarium. Because a 30-centimeter predator with an open water mentality does not emotionally cope with a studio apartment. They get stressed, they get aggressive, they get sick. Give them room to move in long, straight lines. Give them the illusion of a lake. Think less aquarium and more minimalist loft with excellent sightlines. Just don't be surprised if they treat your other fish like a buffet of appetizers. Star Sapphire, the patient masterpiece. This is the ultimate long game of the hobby. When you first buy a Star Sapphire, you will feel like you've been scammed. You will look at this plain silver gray juvenile and think, I paid premium money for a glorified sardine. You will wait. You will watch. You will question every decision you've ever made in this hobby. And for months, absolutely nothing happens. The fish eats, the fish swims, the fish looks exactly like a creature that has no intention of becoming anything special. Then, around the 2-year mark, the magic trick begins. Tiny, irregular flecks of brilliant iridescent white start appearing over a deepening midnight blue body. Slowly at first, then more. Suddenly, you're standing in front of the tank at 11 o'clock at night with the lights on because you need to see it again. It's not a pattern. It's a celestial event. It looks like someone took a handful of diamonds and threw them at a piece of navy velvet. No two fish develop identically. What you end up with is genuinely, specifically unrepeatable. The Star Sapphire is not a bully. He's an aristocrat. He doesn't need to chase anyone across the tank to establish authority. He simply exists with such visual intensity that the other fish eventually just agree that he's in charge. He is the quiet luxury of Lake Malawi. He doesn't shout for attention. He waits for the light to hit him just right. And then he makes every other fish in the tank look like a rough draft. The wait is 2 years. The result is worth it. But you'll have to ask yourself that question again when you're staring at a gray sardine in month 7, wondering if the diamonds are ever coming. Peacock cichlids, the Aulonocara genus, is essentially the Real Housewives of Lake Malawi, and the males are the cast members who spent the entire production budget on their wardrobe. We're talking electric cobalt blue, burning sunset orange, deep cherry red, and combinations thereof that make a Ferrari look like it needs a repaint. These colors aren't subtle, they aren't tasteful. They are a full-volume announcement that this fish exists and would like everyone to acknowledge it immediately. They're the soloists of the lake. They want the spotlight, the center stage, a sandy substrate for their little performance, and an audience that appreciates the work they've put into their appearance. But here's the scam that nobody warns you about. The females look like a bag of wet cement, not metaphorically understated, genuinely, thoroughly beige. Nature looked at the situation and decided one party gets all the resources. The ultimate, he's a 10, she's a 2 situation, except she's fully aware of it, and honestly seems fine with the arrangement. Here's the part that makes it worse. Peacocks are mouth brooders. The female carries fertilized eggs in her mouth for weeks. She doesn't eat. She doesn't sleep properly. She's running a full biological daycare in her jawline, while he's out there looking absolutely fantastic. Reproductive inequality taken to its logical extreme. Peacocks are generally calmer than Mbuna, which in practice means they'll wait until you leave the room before starting anything dramatic. Give them a sandy bottom, enough space that males aren't constantly in each other's sight lines, and they'll reward you with some of the most stunning color in freshwater fish keeping. Just don't expect the females to get any credit for it. So there you have it. You now have plenty of reasons why Lake Malawi is less of a hobby and more of a full-time hostage situation. If you're currently staring at your tank, wondering if your Auratus is plotting your demise through the glass, he is. He's already checked your life insurance policy. But that's the beauty of it, isn't it? We don't keep these fish for peace and quiet. If we wanted peace, we'd buy a plastic plant. We keep them because they have more personality and pure unadulterated audacity in one fin than most fish have in their entire bodies. If you enjoyed this tour of Africa's most beautiful mosh pit, smash that like button. Subscribing won't make your fish any nicer. Honestly, nothing will. But it will give you something to watch while you wait for your yellow lab to finish her 400th daycare session of the year. Drop a comment below and share your best or most traumatic cichlid horror story. Which little monster is currently the CEO of your aquarium? Here at Dark Cichlids, we are building a massive living library dedicated to these African titans. We're growing every single day, and we're incredibly proud to be the global bunker where cichlid addicts from all over the world gather to compare battle scars. Don't let the journey end here. Our archives are packed with deep dives that make this one look like a puddle. Go ahead and click the video on your screen right now. I'm betting you'll watch it 3 times in a row. Once for the fish, once for the drama, and once just to process the chaos. Until next time, keep your water clean, your rocks bolted to the floor, and for the love of your sanity, don't buy just 2. Stay dark.